Hello, friend. Today we are going to be talking about outsourcing. So, if you are new to my world, you might not be super familiar with the Sunday reset. And this is my proprietary process where we spend time on Sunday basically setting ourselves up for a successful week. So, getting our house what I call back to baseline, back to its most organized state, and doing things that are going to set us up for the week, doing some meal prep and some calendar prepping, maybe doing a load of laundry, filling up our car with gas, some things like that. Actually, I have an amazing Kickstarter list to get yourself started. I will drop that in the show notes below if you want to get your hands on it. But what I want to talk about today is this prospect of outsourcing, because I got a question from someone who said, I would like to outsource the Sunday reset, but I don't trust anyone to do it. So let's talk about it. Now, I am a huge proponent of outsourcing and delegation in all areas of our lives, at home, at work, but let's specifically talk about it at home right now. And I will be totally open book and share with you the things that we outsource. So we outsource our deep cleaning. We outsource most of our laundry. Those two things are huge and I can never go back. Last year, we also had a babysitter driving our kids to their activities. This year in particular, my daughter requested that I be the one to drive her to dance. And I decided, yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't love driving, but I love spending time with my kids. And the whole reason for me to start this business so that I can't talk today. The whole reason I started my business was so that I could make my own schedule and do things like that. We do still have a babysitter taking my son to some of his lacrosse practices, which are far away. So I put my money literally where my mouth is, and I outsource these things in my own home. And on top of that, I have a super supportive husband and we split responsibilities. So it's not like I'm outsourcing these things because otherwise I would have to do them all. We still split responsibilities of all the things that are left and we still outsource. So even if you are a stay-at-home mom and you would be the only one doing this and you don't have a partner that would share it with you, you are still entitled to do this. And if you do have a partner, you are entitled to do this. And if you work outside the home, you're entitled to do this. There is you don't have to pass a test. Everyone can outsource. And I've shared in the past that when we first started outsourcing, we had to make some other financial sacrifices and compromises to make this work for us. So it is possible at every level. I mean, even if you're not going to have someone come in your home to do your laundry, there are places you can, if you live in a city. I mean, I live in a suburb, but we've got a lot going on here. But you can send your laundry out and have it washed and folded and sent back to you, and they will fold it better than you will probably. So my point is that you almost everyone can make some level of outsourcing work for them, and you should have no guilt or shame over doing it. But that is not the topic of this conversation. The topic is, how do you do it in a way where you can let go of control? And here's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. You can't just outsource and cross your fingers and hope for the best. You, my friend, are in charge of making sure that outsourcing goes in a way that meets your needs. So what does that look like? Okay. So for me, now let me give you the major caveat that I do not outsource my Sunday reset, because for me, it is really a moment of zen. I'm not always in the mood to do it, but when I do it, it really calms me. If that's the mood that I need to get in. Other times it gives me almost like an adrenaline boost, like a high, if that's what I need. But to me, I find it very, very positive for my nervous system, and it makes me feel in control of the week. So that is not to say you should not outsource your Sunday reset, but I'm saying that I personally do my Sunday reset and I outsource other things. So take this conversation and apply it to whatever pieces of your life are just major friction points, major pain points, and are not working for you. Okay. So when I first hired a house cleaner, I created a room by room checklist in an Excel spreadsheet for everything I wanted done in every space in the house. And so if you've been in like the house cleaning, housekeeping world at all, or you've outsourced, you know there's a difference between a house cleaner who will do a deep clean and then a housekeeper who will do more like maintenance tasks. So at first I just had a weekly house cleaner. Then we graduated to having a housekeeper that would do, dishes and laundry and things like that. So then I had to get more specific. I am, as you can imagine, extremely particular. I was going to say about like how clothes get put away, but the truth is I am extremely particular about every single thing. Like there is not a picture frame that is placed in my home that was not deliberately placed exactly where I want it. So when I am training someone to clean my home, a piece of that conversation is here is functionally what I'd like done. Like here are the tasks that need to get done and here's a checklist. But here are the things that I need you to do to make it work for my lifestyle. I need my picture frames to be put back exactly where they are. I've spent time styling the coffee books on my table. I want them put in the exact same spot because what I don't want to do is come home on a day that I've had a housekeeper, house cleaner here and have to go around and put things away. I don't want to do that. That's just then adding another friction point. So the way around that is to train the people that are working for you like you would if you were hiring someone in an office role, right? You train them on their roles and responsibilities. It's the same thing. You get to be as particular as you want. Now, I know some of this sounds crazy. And for those of you who can't relate, I don't need your judgment. For those of you who can relate, I do make light of it by being like, I know I'm super anal, or I know this sounds crazy, or I know I'm super particular. Like I just put it out there. Just put it out there. You don't need to make fun of me behind my back. Let's just put it out there. Say it to my face. But this is exactly what I need to see. This is how I need things folded. This is the direction I want things facing when they're hung in the closet. This is exactly how I want things back. If I don't like the scent of a cleaning supply, I will say that, right? You get to be in charge, but nobody who you hire is a mind reader. They will be bringing their expertise. They will be bringing their systems to it as they should, right? You don't need to tell them what to be doing in terms of like getting the tasks done, right? They should be bringing a certain level of expertise to it, but you then get to layer on top of that your specificities. What do you want to see? How do you want it done? They don't know. They are not a mind reader. And they don't know, are you a super particular client or are you not particular? For laundry, for example, we hang an excessive amount of our clothing because I don't like to shop. I want our items to last longer. And I feel like they stay nicer for longer when you hang things. So all of our workout clothing, we hang. All of our jeans, we hang. We just hang a lot of things. And how would they know that? If they work for another family where everything goes in the dryer, they wouldn't know that without me training them. So I put together a room by room checklist with all of the things that I wanted to see and wanted done. And in the beginning, I actually had a clipboard and a checklist. Like, I want this to be checked off as you go, not because I need to micromanage and see that everything was done. I actually am not that way, but really as a reminder of like, these are all the things that I want you to get done. And now I've had the same incredible housekeeper for years and years. There's no checklist. There's no micromanaging. But every now and then, if I have a new clothing item, I will tell her how I want it washed or hung, or if I want to change something around the house, I have that conversation because I can't assume that she will know. Same thing when we hired the babysitter for driving. I took them around one time when the kids weren't around, like, here's where the pickup spot is. Here's where the drop-off spot is. And then we also did it once with the kids. So they had an opportunity to meet the kids and also see again in action. And then they could go do it themselves. So if you want to hire someone and you're nervous about how they're going to do it, that's good. Have a little, a little dose of skepticism, because that's where you need to come in and fill that gap with your training and with your specifics. If you don't do that, they will never meet your expectations. So you have to hire someone to do something, and you have to take on the responsibility of training them and giving continual feedback. So it is possible to hire someone to do something exactly to your liking. But the other reality is nobody is going to do things exactly the way you would. Sometimes they might do it better, frankly, but they're not going to do it exactly the way you would. So would you rather be doing every single thing in your home and in your life so that it can be done exactly the way you want it done? Or would you rather give up just a smidge of that control, just a smidge of that outcome so that you can free yourself up from the time and energy it takes to do all those things? Because it's a lot. It is a lot to maintain our lives, especially if we want to be on top of everything and organized and have everything be tidy. It takes a lot less time to live that way than it does to live in chaos and mess because you're wasting so much time and energy being frustrated and trying to find things. But it still does take time and energy. And outsource any and everything that you can. We've had housekeepers in the past that have prepared meals for us. We're not in that phase right now, but it's not as expensive as you might think. And look into your life and see where are there areas where you might be willing to pull back some so that you could have the absolute luxury of having someone help you with some of these things around the house. It is absolutely a luxury, and it also feels like a necessity. It's amazing. So if you are worried about how someone will do it, I think that's good because it means that you need to spend the time thinking through exactly what you want to see. You need to put some structures in place. You might need to create a checklist. You need to not be shy to speak up if things are not being done exactly how you want them, but you need to take ownership over that. Like, you are the person responsible for training the person that you hire. So I would love to hear if you outsource, what that looks like for you. And if after listening to this episode, you plan to outsource even more. And as I said in the beginning, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what your age, no matter your partnership status, no matter who you live with, you live by yourself, you are entitled to outsource any and everything that you want. And you're entitled to keep the things for yourself that you enjoy doing, even if it makes no sense. My cousin, who I adore, who we rent the beach house with every summer at the Jersey Shore, she loves doing laundry. She loves it. It brings her pleasure. It brings her joy. She likes to do it daily, sometimes multiple loads a day. I cannot relate at all, but she loves it. So that is something that she should never outsource, because why should she give that to someone when she enjoys doing it? So you do you. Take some time to evaluate what you do enjoy doing and what you don't enjoy doing. And then if you're going to outsource, take it seriously. It's like you're hiring essentially an employee, even if you're sending it out to a laundromat. Most of these laundromats, you can specify, do you like scented or unscented detergent? Like, how do you want things folded? You get to be in charge. That's what's fun. That's what's fun. And if you don't know, spend some time thinking about it. It's you probably have more clarity on it than you think. So keep me posted, friend. I hope that you have an amazing day because you are